Hello Conclave. Last week I started to talk about the cat deck. With this I wasn't finished because I had too little time. So here's part 2, talking a bit about updates of this deck. First of all, I wanted to tell you can update this deck, in my opinion, in 3 ways. You can go for going in a strategy where you go quite wide, or you have a lot of cats play. The second one is gaining a lot of equipments and attacking your opponents with those equipments. And the third way, and the last way, is a bit difficult, but a bit harder to do, but it's life gain. Cat's life gain. So yeah, let's get started. First of all, I want to start with updating the mana base a bit, for the reason the mana base always can have some help. And so shocks, fetches, that kind of cards, but also cards that support what you want to do. Like, yeah, you can put an every green deck against Cradle, but sometimes you don't want against Cradle in your deck. I have 3 lands and special for this occasion. One of them is the Buried Ruins. Why? Because when you sacrifice it, you may return target artifact from your graveyard to your hand. If you have like a Crucible of Worlds or something, you have one of your most important equipments that just got put into the graveyard, you can get it back with this card. When you go wide, the Township, Gavany Township. Why? Counters. Make your whole army stronger. And the last one can go in both strategies quite easily. Emeria, the Sky Ruin. For it gives you recursion when you need it. Every turn, return a creature from your graveyard to the battlefield, even. But only if you control 7 or more planes. Well, we're in green-white, so gaining those planes isn't too hard, especially with some of the cards in the base deck, like Odesco's Explorer, and Sword of the Amnius, and stuff like that. To gain even more life easy, because in the end you're playing commander, so the extra land is always useful. The Voicing Wayfarer, if I'm right, is a great way for 1 blue. If an opponent controls more land than you, you can search library for a land card. Same is for land tax and Tide. Those are only the white editions to gain more land. Especially land tax and Nomad are great for gaining multiple, or getting multiple activations, so you have multiple lands that go into your hand or go into the battlefield. So that's quite useful in this deck. It's great mana fixing as well, and it also gets you a Myria quicker online. But we have a multitude and options on what we're gonna do with this deck. First of all, if we want to go wide, what are cards that are great for doing that? No, I'm not talking about wrist redeemed. That's way off tribe. But we have a Pride Sovereign printed in Hour of Devastation. And if you exert it for 1 white, you get 2 1/1 white cat creature tokens. This, in combination with stuff that untaps your lands, is a great addition. Or stuff that untaps your creatures, not your lands. If you can untap during each untap step, green has a lot of good cards for that. Pride Sovereign will get even better, because it also gets +1/+1 for each other cat you control. Brymus, King of Oreskos, is a vigilance cat from the plane of Theros, and it gives you cats when it's attacking, it gives you cats when it's blocking. It are 1/1 cats with vigilance, so a great addition. The next card I wanted to talk to you about is maybe a bit weird. I know some people might not think about playing this card in this deck, but I do. For a multitude of reasons, but I'm first looking for another card. I have my little stack of cards here, and I can't find it. Give me a second. Oh, wait, it's right under there. Nacatl Warpride. Nacatl Warpride gives you, when it's attacking, a cat for each creature defending player controls. And it must be blocked by exactly 1 creature if able. So for each creature your opponent has, you can get a Nacatl Warpride. And how can we make that more useful for us in this deck? With the Bow of Nylea, giving all your attacking Nacatl Warprides Death Touch. And also, a quick side note, Nacatl Warpride are cat warriors. If you also attack with the Pride Sovereign will grow a lot. For each creature your opponent controls, it grows. He can't block the Pride Sovereign, for the Nacatl Warprides have to be blocked. So you board wipe your opponent, and your Pride Sovereign gets huge, destroying their board state and their life total. Quite easy. The next card that's great in this combination or the next card. The next thing that's great in this combination is if you can give your original Nacatl Warpride indestructibility, because if you, for example, put the enchantment indestructibility on him, then each turn you can board wipe actually your opponent's creatures. And you also gain the benefit of all the enter the battlefield triggers. And for example, even if we were going more on the life path, Healer of the Pride will trigger for every cat entering the battlefield, so you get 2 life for each cat from the Cat of War Pride. That's a shitload of life, let me tell you that. Other stuff we can do with it, Cat's Crusade, because it has cat in the name, giving you a shitload of +1/+1 counts on your original cats. How about your coat of arms in play? Pumping your whole team for each cat you control. I could continue. We're in green and white, so our Quasil Slingers and our Aura Shards destroy all the artifacts and enchantments in the battlefield. Yeah. Do I have to continue about how good this combination is? Yes, at the end of the attack, the Cat of War Pride tokens are removed from the game. But so is their board state, so fair trade. Yes, I know it. And the Cat of War Pride is a bit of an expensive. Oh, sorry. The Cat of War Pride is a bit of an expensive card in mana cost. It's 6 for just a 3/3. But remember, it's also a board wipe for you. We've talked also about that you can tutor a lot of lands in this deck. But sometimes you need creatures, and you need them bad. One of my favorite cards is Elamarish Call. I have a Japanese one if I'm right. Could also be Chinese. This lets me look for a creature for just 2 mana and put it into my hand. I don't understand why this isn't played more often. Congratulations at dawn. 2 green, 1 white for an instant. Let me decide my next 3 draws by searching my library for a creature. And that creature will get on top of my library. Altar of Bone is also a kind of a good tutor, especially a few tokens. You sacrifice a token and search your library up for 1 creature. In this deck there is also a lot of legendary creatures. Think about Miri, think about Primus at this point, also Gamba. So In Time of Need is one I would really recommend for this deck. It lets you search up a legendary creature, put it into your hand and shuffle your library. So you can get a legendary creature whenever you want to. We also like maybe some mana reduction for work. We are tribal. And yeah, we could go for the medallions, the sapphire, no? Yeah, sapphire and pearl medallion, but doesn't really work that well when you also can put in Urza's Incubator. Choose cats, and all your cat spells cost 2 less to cast, so... And that's in for both color cats, so with one you reduce only 1 mana for green spells, 1 mana for white spells, but this is just 2 mana for cat spells, which is most of the deck. Yeah, more tokens, more life gain. Because also a point, life gain and tokens work great together. Think about Trostani, which you can also put into your deck. Not that I would recommend putting Tristani in the deck, but Raggle, Karakattle I would put in my deck. For it's the Cat Lord, which also gives your cats lifelink in mass. Of course, when we're going a bit more on the life game plan, a Janis Primate, the Cat Soldier for 2 mana, 2/2. Whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on it. It's a great way. Other side. It's a great way to really go big with life. Felidar Sovereign is also a big body, but it's also an alternative win con, because if you have 40 or more life, you win the game. Doesn't matter what your opponents have, you win the game at 40 life. What else can we look at? Ajani, Color of the Pride, especially when we are in life. His ability will pump up our creatures, and in the end it can, if we can ult him, give us X 2/2 white cat creature tokens, or X. Sorry, it's a bit late. Where X is the number of lives we have, so we're X our life total. So if our life total is at 20, we get 20 2/2 kittens. I say kittens, but they're cats. So we get 20 of them. Put True Conviction in play, and they have double strike and lifelink as well, so then your life total is getting up quite fast. But that's another way to go. So I've actually talked a bit about the token strategy and the life gain strategy together. But what if we don't want to go that route? Then let's open the armory. We're going to the equipments. Open the armory is an equipment tutor for 2 sorcery for 2 mana, and it lets us search in an aura or equipment, put it into our hands. So yeah. Also the Steel Shaper's Gift. Let us search for an equipment, put it into our hands, but just for 1 mana. And you can put a lot of equipments in. So things I would like to say about this. Sigarda's Aid. Sigarda is the angel from Innistrad, and it's the green-white one, which really protects the humans. But Sigarda's Aid can also aid your cats, for it lets you play equipments as flash, and like I said earlier, with the Bright Sovereign, with the untap effects in green, if you can make sure you have cards in hand, Sigarda's Aid will let you flash in your equipment at the point you need, even during your opponent's turn. And Pure Steel Paladin. This is a bit of a more expensive card, for it's played in Modern. Also for the equipment Storm deck. But the Metalcroft ability is great to give free equips. But when we're going back to the tribe for a second, there is one card which is not in the base deck, which is really useful for the strategy. And that is the Leonin Abunus. For artifacts you control can't be targeted by spells or abilities your opponent control. Or, to put it for short, all your equipments have hexproof. Another great mention I like to make, if we're going heavy into equipment, you probably will get Metalcraft Online. If you can, this is the best removal spell in the format. Even in Modern and stuff, this is the best removal spell. It costs just 1 white, but exile target creature. No drawbacks, just exile target creature. If you don't have Metalcraft Online, it will just tap it, but we're most likely gonna have Metalcraft Online, and exiling a creature is quite a powerful ability. Excuse me. To do so. For equipment, there are a lot of great options. I would say find whatever suits you best. And it also depends on which commander you're using. Like, if you're playing the main commander, Arabo, the Fire Shrieker is a great card for. It gives your equipped creature double strike, and in combination with the ability of Arabo, why do I say it wrong? I'm tired. It gets +3/+3, and it will hit double. That's quite powerful. Say for example, we put it on, I don't know, we put it on Kemba, because she's great with this. So we put it on Kemba. We make her 5/5. We can hit for 10, we can hit for 20, if we also use the other ability of Arabo. Yes, I said it right. So we can even make her hit for 20. Right then and there. So that's one of those cards which can really make a difference, but yeah, if you're playing more like the Ballon, you don't really need the double strike. If you're building around him, then you need more equipment who do things to your stats, like Cloak and Dagger, maybe the Yitta, Godsend. So Cloak and Dagger gives it Shroud and +2/+0. Not best for Ballon, because you want to keep equipping him. Maybe it's good for Ballon, but because he has his own equip ability. The Yitta can remove shit, can give it Ballon extra power when you need it. And you don't need to double strike, because Ballon gives himself double strike if you have 2 or more equipments attached to him. Godsend, that's what I also called out, gives it +3/+3, and when equipped creature blocks or becomes blocked by 1 or more creatures, you may exile one of those creatures, and your opponent can't cast spells with the same name. as cards exiled with Godsend. I'm really curious if this also works with Spike It. If you put Spike It on your opponent's creature, giving it all non-legendary creature names, and you exile it with Godsend. There is this one red mana instant which equips target equipment you control to target creature, but it's not target creature you control, so you can use it to equip your opponent's creature with Spike It, then use Godsend to remove that creature. And I'm really curious if Godsend is like, no, you can't cast any non-legendary creature spells anymore, because that would be quite overpowered. I'm not sure if that's what will happen. A way to gain more equipment quite easily, quite fast, is playing a Mirror Works. Because for 2 mana you can make a copy of target non-token artifact. When it enters the battlefield under your control, then you get a token of that. So that's quite a useful ability. So, like, while you're playing Kamba, let's put it that way. Let's just make it easy. We're playing Kamba. No, not Kamba. We have another. We have the Oracle's Explorers in play, and we're equipping him. Because we can't do it with... Can we do it? Wait. No, we have Kamba in play, sorry. I'm a bit tired. And say, for instance, we cast Moonsilver Spear, which gives it first strike 2 times. But we have a copy of... We make a copy of Moonsilver Spear with Mirror Works. Equip them both to Balan, to Kamba. With Balan, you don't have anything on the first strike, but you get 2 4/4 angels every time Balan or Kamba attacks at that point. Because you copied Moonsilver Spear with Mirror Works. Also, some things to note here are there are ways to make even more copies of those equipments and some more tutors I want to talk about you. Of course, Masterwork of Integrity, to make another token for what, or make another copy for just one mana. Pay 3 and you get 2 copies, because you copy the Masterwork. And Inventor's Fair as another tutor, which is great for this deck. Well, there's one more equipment I wanted to talk about a bit. Especially if you're playing Balan and you want to abuse the double strike and attacks. The Armory of Aroas. When it attacks equipped creature, it gets +1/+1 counter. This is before damage is dealt. So it attacks, gains +1/+1 counter. So every attack it will get stronger. And it will grow, it will grow, it will grow. If you really want to be a dick to someone who is playing black. Oh no, wait, that doesn't work. Sorry. No, I was thinking about... it kind of works. If someone's playing black and and they put down Yogma's Tomb, if I'm right. The black card, the black legendary land, which make all lands swamps in addition to their other types. A Nightmare Lash could work in that case, but that's a really specific case actually. Because your opponent needs to put one of his 100 lands into play. Or one of his 100 lands. One specific card of the 100 in play, and he must be playing black. Or at least black is one of his colors. So it might be a dead card in your deck, so I would put it in. I would not. It's too narrow to take the risk. Like if black was the main color played in the format and you want to change it up, then yeah, play it. It costs you 3 life, but hey, all your lands are swamps, so who cares? Well, I'm signing out for today. I hope you have a nice week. I hope you have a lot of fun playing, and all the best of luck. Please subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment. What are you going to do with this deck? I'm really curious. Do you have it? What deck do you have? Maybe you bought wizards, dragons, or vampires. By the way, vampires are coming next week. I am planning on doing them then. So I hope to see you then. Peace out.